What's going on, everybody? It's your host, Dominic Peterson, host of the Doug Zone 503 podcast, the #1 Oregon podcast on YouTube. Welcome in. Appreciate everybody who's subscribed, liking the videos, sharing the videos, and most importantly, what helps grow podcasts the most. Yes, you can subscribe. Yes, you can like, but what helps the most is you guys of word of mouth. If you guys have friends and family that love the Oregon Ducks, love the football program, make sure to tell them to tune in to the Doug Zone 503 podcast where we give you all the updates right on time, first to get the information directly to you. All right, welcome in, guys. We have a lot to talk about today. We got transfers going in and out. We got guys returning for next season. Let's talk about it on the podcast, get you guys all updated since the last time we talked. Recording of this podcast is January 11th, 9:26 a.m. And I just want to show everybody the new addition to the podcast. Say what's up to the totem pole. Look at that, guys. Got this as a Christmas gift from my mom. Just got it shipped in. Thought this was really cool. From Dallas. She found this in a mall in Dallas, Texas. So, wow. Shipped all the way out here back to Oregon. Great totem pole. Going to be seeing that as the piece of the eye candy back here that we got behind us. As you can see, I got my Oregon chain. Got the card set here. I know you guys can't see the cards up close. We can do a whole podcast about all the stuff I got. I got more stuff in the living room, too, where I used to do the podcast. But, yeah, totem pole will be joining us from now on. All right, guys, let's get you guys updated, never the doubt. So, yesterday on January 10th, we had Evan Williams, Oregon Land's former Fresno State safety, Evan Williams. And if that name sounds familiar, it's because he is the little brother of former Oregon safety, Bennett Williams. Evan Williams in 2022, this past season, put up 66 total tackles and a sack. So really productive player in his career. 223 total tackles, 12 pass deflections, 4 interceptions, 3 forced fumble, and a sack in 39 games played. So throughout his career, has been making plays, no doubt. Definitely a guy that can fly around on the field for you. 1 year of eligibility, so it'll be a one and done with Oregon here. But no doubt, great addition to the Ducks. The 6'1", 195-pound Williams is the 7th transfer addition for the Ducks this offseason. He joins linebackers Justin Jacobs, who transferred from Iowa, and Connor Soule, transferred from Arizona State. Receivers Trayshawn Holden from Alabama, Tez Johnson from Troy, who is, speaking of family love, Tez Johnson is a stepbrother of Bo Nix. Cornerback Kyrie Jackson from Alabama, and offensive lineman Junior Angelau from Texas, and FCS transfer offensive lineman Johnny Cornelius from Rhode Island is all the transfers that the Ducks have added so far this offseason, 7 in total. Now, when this acquisition happened with Evan Williams joining the team, I seen a lot of mixed reactions. A lot of guys really happy and a lot of guys saying a lot of negative stuff. Now, I personally really like this veteran addition for the Ducks, okay? Evan Williams basically replaces his brother here, okay? Both of these players, Evan and Bennett, both have the same play style, in my opinion. You know, they're really great run stoppers, reliable open field tackers, can really jam up those run lanes against opposing running backs. Great leaders in the backfield as well, very vocal guys. Love to lead there. You can tell these guys are natural born leaders. Negatives, though, okay, they both kind of got the same negatives. You know, they can get lost in coverage in time, slow reaction time in coverage, not the fastest athlete on the field, right? But none of the doubt, plays with a lot of heart, makes those sure tackles, and a great run stopper, no doubt, and a great leader. I mean, with a lot of young guys on this team, you need those veteran guys to step in. And we've seen guys like Bo Nix, we've seen guys like Christian Gonzalez transfers, right? Big time transfers last year, step in and be a big time leader. I think that's what we're going to get with the guy with Evan Williams. Evan Williams is about 1 inch taller than Bennett Williams, although Bennett Williams is about 10 more pounds heavier. So Evan and Williams being about 1 inch taller, you'd think he'd be a little heavier, right? Well, no. Bennett Williams is actually a little bit more bulkier, which tells me Evan Williams should get in the weight room this offseason. Now I hear the naysayers. I hear you guys, okay? I hear what you guys are saying. You guys are saying, he was a 2-star two-star safety out of high school, can't really play on this level. Or maybe, Fresno State, small school, he has great numbers, but can he do that at Oregon? Okay, well, look, oddly enough, right? Bennett Williams, his brother, was the leading tackler this year for the Oregon Ducks on defense with 72 total tackles. And second for the Ducks, you had Jeff Bossa with 62 total tackles. So where does that put Evan Williams if he played for the Ducks and had the same numbers? Now, I know I get it. Fresno State playing against different competition, a whole nother league down a little bit. But 66 total tackles, okay? Evan Williams put up 66 total tackles. Bennett Williams, 72 total tackles. Jeff Bossa, 62. Evan Williams would have been your second most leading tackler on the team. So overall, this is a great addition to the team, essentially replacing Bennett Williams with his little brother. Solid veteran addition for the defensive backfield. I think this guy will definitely get play time. I think he'll make plays. This is a guy that Dan Lanning definitely wanted, and I'm happy about it. I'm definitely happy about it. I get he was a 2-star. I get he played at Fresno State, and not a lot of people are excited about a small-time addition, such as guys like from Alabama. All right. But this guy can play, man. The Bill Williams brother. I mean, Bennett Williams came from Illinois. I mean, that's a small time squad. It's in the Big Ten, but still, man. I mean, these guys can play. These guys can play, no doubt. And he's a veteran. You got a guy that's played 39 games in college football. That's big time, okay? Especially in the defensive backfield. A lot of young guys in that defensive backfield. A lot of young guys. So, second news of the day that we got later on was Casey Rogers, defensive lineman, announces he will return for the 2023 season. Rogers transferred from Nebraska last year and started all 13 games for Oregon this year. He ended the year with 34 tackles, 3.5 tackles for loss, 2 pass deflections, and 1 touchdown, none of doubt. And that came against Eastern Washington, matter of fact. Former teammate Jordan Riley also transferred into Oregon after Oregon defensive lineman coach Tony Toyota got hired from Nebraska. So those 2 players follow Tony Toyota to Nebraska. We're also going to get an edge player, Tony Toyota's son, played for Sheldon, really, really great player, 4-star kid. Both made, but Jordan Riley, you were talking about Jordan Riley. We're talking about Casey Rogers, right? Coming from Nebraska, following Tony Toyota. They both made a very solid addition and impact up front for the Ducks. More than I thought. I thought these guys might have got a little bit of play time, might have got in there, especially with Popo going down. That opened the door for Jordan Riley and Casey Rogers a lot to get a lot of play time, a lot of reps. And none of the doubt, these guys made plays up front. Now, I get it. Oregon struggled up front this year a lot. I mean, they did not get pressure. One of the worst one of the worst defenses at getting pressure since the Brady Hoke era. So, it hasn't been good. But in those run lanes, being a body, stuff in the run, they're really good, okay? Rogers earned a 62.0 grade on PFF, registering 19 quarterback pressures and 13 quarterback hurries, which isn't great. That's a D, almost an F. But there's definitely room for improvement. There's definitely room to put more film on the tape. It's always great for Oregon to return starting talent such as Casey Rogers. We got Brandon Dorlus back and Popo Umave, but there's obviously going to be great competition this year. It's not a lock. Just because these guys are coming back does not sketch them in for a starting spot, because Oregon will bring in a total of 6 defensive linemen in this 2023 class. A lack of consistent pass rush probably has a lot to do with that influx of talent, no doubt. All right, and then the final news of the day, I'm sorry to end it like this, but sadly, this was an Oregon fan favorite. Tight end Cam McCormick will enter the transfer portal. Okay, the longest tenured Oregon Duck player is transferring. McCormick finished with 10 catches, 66 yards, and 3 touchdowns this past year. This was his first full year playing the whole year without an injury since 2017. So congrats, Cam. Really battled injury his first 4 years here. Given that, he was granted another 4 years of eligibility. He still has 2 years of eligibility remaining. So wherever he goes, he's able to put more and more film on the tape and keep chasing that dream. McCormick left off a statement. He said, "My time at Oregon has been truly amazing. Being a Duck was a dream come true for me. It's been an incredible experience and a part of my life I will always treasure. The relationships I built and the opportunities I've had are invaluable. I'd like to thank each and every coach and I've had during my time as a Duck. I grew immensely during my time here and learned a great deal from each of you. I appreciate your guidance and never-ending support. The Jockwith staff is top tier, and without the support offered by them, earning my bachelor's and master's would not have been possible. You are appreciated more than you know. The trainers are like family to me, and I can't thank them enough for the tireless effort and dedication to their craft to keep me healthy to play the game I love. The environment at Autzen during game day is so electrifying, and it's the fans who make all the difference. Your passion, support, and enthusiasm make game day a truly unique experience. I appreciate every single teammate I've had over the years. You were there for me during some trying times and became brothers to me. The bonds we made will never be broken. The equipment staff is one of a kind, and I can't thank them enough for putting it on hard work to get us game ready. I came to Eugene at 17 years old and grew up in front of all. It's time for me to spread my wings and continue my journey elsewhere. This has been an extremely difficult decision, but I will be entering the transfer portal to continue my 2 years of eligibility. I have nothing but love for the Ducks and always will." His departure leaves Oregon with 94 projected scholarship players in 2023, which I've been saying on this podcast over and over again. If this is your first time joining, please subscribe, by the way. 94 projected players Oregon's sitting at for scholarships. They need, by week 1, when the season kicks off in the fall, got a lot of time to figure things out, who to cut. Sadly, they will need to cut players down to 85. You can only have 85 scholarship players. And there's been questions out there, well, what if they are still over that number? Well, then you won't be able to play in the game and you have to forfeit the game. So you got to get down to 85 scholarship players. It's really unfortunate for college kids to get their scholarship cut, but this is the name of the game. This is the time we live in, right? It's the college football is turning more into just basically an amateur NFL league, right? You got NIL out there. You got basically no rules with the NCAA governing nothing. But there is still some rules like the 85 scholarship player rule, which Oregon's going to have to get down to because they're at 94 right now. So we'll be looking on that. We'll be covering it all for you. Working on getting the 2023 recruits that have signed as an Oregon Duck on the channel so we can really get to know them, know their life story. Got a whole bunch of stuff on the channel, guys. Go ahead and check me out if this is your first time in. If you're a lifetime viewer, please always, like you guys always do, like, subscribe, share the video, word of mouth. Guys, always friends, family. That's the way podcasts really grow, okay? Like and subscribing always helps in the algorithm, but podcasts always really help by word of mouth, telling your friends and family about it. All right, guys. Well, this is the new totem pole back there. Appreciate you guys for joining. As always, this is Dominic Peterson, host of the Doug Zone 503 podcast. Make sure to subscribe and like for more content like this. And as always, baby, go Ducks. I'll see you in the next one, guys.